Paul. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just sitting here. It's about 7:10. Yeah. I'm up early this morning. So I woke up at 5:30 and didn't have a lot to do. Woke up at the emergency couch and I had sent some emails that I didn't want to have to sleep any place other than where I, as a victim, would have some rights enforced. Now, last night I got to thinking about some of these emails that I've sent. Pooch, I'll probably read them to you here in a little while. and I was a little concerned this morning. Yes. I went over to get a cup of coffee because I had a coffee card and I was stirring the coffee. I put they got coffee shots and they got creamers and different things that you can put in it, and it's really good. But when I stirred it, I removed the stir sticks, yes, and it kept going around and around and around by itself. And I was looking at it, and I was like, well, how long are you going to do that? You ever stirred your coffee and realized that there's some sort of pendulum effect in the use of liquids? You ever seen that before? No. Well, it got me thinking about hurricanes. I guess there was a bad one here on the other side of the United States of America. you know, I have this desalinator that I was wanting to manufacture. And I thought, well, but nice to just cut that thing in half, wouldn't it? Just slow it down by 20 or 30 miles per hour. Pooch. But for some reason, somebody thinks that they don't have to enforce the actual sheriff's manual of every state of the United States. Now, it looks to me like you like to have the damages instead of actually using the innovations that are available. What's your fucking problem today? Now, the last hurricane, we talked about the desalinator and the HHO gas desalinator. Yes. It would have been nice to have that thing working today, wouldn't it? Pooh. It seems that those that are oaths, badges, and attorneys, they really don't believe that they have to enforce the requirements of their employment. And when I mentioned a breach of contract yesterday, you decided, no, we're just going to violate the laws of the United States. A lot of people are suffering today because of your obstinance. I'm the individual that wanted to make 2 trillion gallons of fresh water every year. But you had to be total fucking assholes and screw over the East Coast. Yes. When you look at the actual movement of liquids, I know you're concerned about fish and the fish in the ocean that were underneath the hurricane. You don't want to hurt them. Well, hurricanes, they move along the top of an ocean. Yes. Don't get a lot of hurricanes. We get tornadoes on the land. Is that what we get? I was thinking we didn't need to have these things, and you decided you wouldn't enforce the actual requirements of the sheriff's manual. I got to thinking about that last night, and I thought, well, I'm suing every sheriff in the United States for every day that they decide that they're not going to enforce the requirements. Every day. You get an additional lawsuit for not enforcing the requirements of the sheriff's manual. Now, I'm being victimized, as is a large number of other American citizens, because you're obstructing me from doing what I know I have the legal right to do. Now, let's say, okay, you have one of these submarines, Navy. Yes. You know how a propeller can propel? Yes. A submarine? Yes. Underneath the water. It turns in a certain direction. Yes. Forward and backward. Yes. But if you took a submarine and put the bottom of it, the backside of it, the part that has the propeller, yes, towards the top of the ocean, and you put the nose of it towards the bottom of the ocean, yes. Let's say you had a little wobbler, quite a bit of electricity. I know you're concerned about your fish again. Oh my gosh, don't chop them up in the propeller. I just wanted to know if I had, well, let's say I had half, three quarters, a quarter. A quarter of a submarine that didn't actually have a submarine attached to it. I just had the big propeller part. Yes, he did. I put a little wobbler in there, produced a huge amount of electricity, and I put the propeller part towards the top of the ocean. Yes, turned it on, and I just started going really slow. Pooch. Exactly how fast can you turn a propeller? I mean, can you go like 1,000,000 miles per hour with it? Now let's say, Pooch, I decided to heat up some salt water. Yes, desalinate it and leave the salt in the ocean. Why not? Turned it into maybe 4 to 5,000 degree steam. Yes, but I used a propeller. Yes, the quarter of the submarine that propels the submarine. And as I swirled the ocean water the opposite direction of the eye of the hurricane, yes, and I increased the speed of the propeller, yes, and then I added some water as kind of like a weight to it, yes, how deep could I actually cause a type of reverse tornado in the ocean? Yes, well, or maybe it's a tornado. Now, I know when you think about causing the effect of swirling water, it's kind of like what direction does your toilet swirl? Yes, yes, because the water pressure causes it to turn to the left or turn to the right. I heard that in the other half of the world, yes, the toilet actually swirls the opposite direction, as in the north half of the world, the toilet, and the north, because when you think about the directional See, the thought was, yes, I put the I put the propeller part of the submarine towards the top of the ocean. Yes. It's a big propeller. Pooch. It's one of these big ones. Yes. Yes. And I get her going, pooch, and I sink it deeper and deeper and deeper as the water swirls. Yes. And then I put high temperature steam through the propeller through that swirling motion. Yes. And then I put it right in front of a tornado that happens to be swirling the opposite.